Hello, everybody. Everybody, hello. Welcome to another episode of Congratulations to the 47th President, Dr. Cornel West. My name is Tracy, and before I let my guest introduce himself, we have a ton of announcements today. I suggest getting your pen and a piece of paper or somehow remember this or watch it again because there's a lot of announcements. So I'm gonna be showing them throughout the show, but keep them in mind because there's a lot of announcements today. So we first always want to encourage everybody to visit the website at cornelwest2024.com. That's where you can sign up to volunteer, learn about the platform, and make a donation. And that website again is cornelwest2024.com. And I'm trying to get to the next one, but my mouse is kind of not working today. There will be a national house party for Dr. West all across the country. We're going to be holding it August the 31st from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. your time. So if you live in Central Time, it's 4 to 7 Central Time, Pacific Time, and Eastern Standard Time, and I forget the other time zones, but you get the drift. Fill out the form. We're going to have a great time. Remember this one. Now, you all have bugged me. Bug me. Tracy, when is Dr. West going to be on the show? When is Dr. West going to be on the show? Well, I've decided to start a petition to try to get Dr. West on this show, and so far, 8 signatures. So if you want to be one of those that signs, hit that website and sign the signature. And that's to get both Dr. West and have Dr. Abdullah on the show. And like I said, this mouse is not cooperating today. Remember to like this video, comment on this video, and share it. And we already got a guest in the house. Regular viewer Nelson Ortega. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Nelson, I'm doing great. And with that, all those announcements out of the way, I am going to let my guest introduce himself.
Hey, yeah, so my name is Nick Shillingford. I'm one of the co-leads, volunteers of the Cornel West campaign here in Minnesota. I live in Minneapolis, and I'm a registered nurse, 40 years old, been an activist, organizer around anti-war movement, socialist politics, labor, breaking the duopoly for about 20 years now. And I'm the host of the Socialist News and Views podcast here out of Minneapolis. And keeping busy with a lot of community organizing, a lot of signature gathering. We're still in our signature gathering phase here in Minnesota. So we're still focused on that right now. And I keep busy with a lot of stuff. Like I was telling you, I was just out at this really free market here in Minneapolis where everybody brings their stuff. Get stuff out. Everybody can come and take stuff for free. I was out there getting some signatures as well. I also have a free book table. So getting a lot of literature and educational materials and books and stuff out to folks in the community. So it was a good day.
And it was very hot.
It was very hot.
I don't know what's with this weather, but that's not even part of the show. But it was. No. I'm like, you know what? My electricity bill is not going to recover from this. But
I know, right?
I haven't shut my air conditioner off yet. I'm like, well,
I'd be home.
But that is absolutely right. But of course, for those who don't watch the show, what I do, my first time guest, because I've had some that have been on the show several times, but with my first time guest, we go over 5 to 7 of the most ridiculous, stupidest, dumbest, yes, I'm using words that people don't like, but they're stupid, they're ignorant, they're dumb reasons to vote against Dr. West or why he shouldn't be running, and we basically debunk them. That is the idea of this show. So, with that, I have to start off with the one that I know you've heard
Yeah.
because everybody's heard it. A vote for Dr. West is a vote for Donald Trump.
Yep. They say that one a lot. It's nonsense. I mean, I've been trying to break the duopoly, working on this project since the Nader days. Of course, they were bringing up the same nonsense there, saying that if you're voting for a third party, you're voting to support the right wing candidate. And I think there's a lot of ways to address that issue, and one of them being that one of the largest voting blocks in the U.S. is the non-voters, people that don't participate in the election at all. There's these people that are not going to vote if they don't have somebody that they feel is a candidate they can vote for. There's people that are concerned about the ongoing genocide, the Palestinian people, and they don't see either candidate that's speaking up on that issue. And so they're, looking for somebody like Cornel West. I talk to people, again, I'm out gathering signatures, so I talk to people all the time. If they don't know that he's running, they're excited to know that there's somebody running that they can actually support, that has positions that they support, somebody they can vote for rather than, this kind of thing we get into of voting against somebody. Um, Not to mention, there's people that were gonna vote for Trump, or may have been thinking about voting for Trump, that are going to vote for Dr. West. This doesn't actually come up a lot, but I've been out gathering signatures for months now, and I've run into, I'd say at least a dozen or so, a few dozen young black men that are planning to vote for Trump, for example. And they don't know that Cornel West is even running, for example. So, I start talking to folks about Cornel West, about where he's at on the issues, how he's been consistent for a long time. And I start to talk to folks about how they need to be considering somebody who actually supports, what they want to be happening, supports, ending poverty in the United States, supports, housing justice, supports racial justice, supports, ending the genocide, anti-war candidate, and so forth. So this is something that we can bring up with lots of people. I've had a lot of conversations with people that, either weren't going to vote, or thinking about voting for Trump, or thinking about now voting for Kamala. Talking to them about how Cornel West is an option that we can actually get behind, because he actually supports issues that I think a lot of people care about, that are really, issues that people are concerned about. It only take, people have to vote for the person. That's the only way that they're going to win, right? So, if people say, well, I'm not going to vote for them, because they're not going to win, or because they're a third party candidate. Well, if that's the attitude that a person takes, then, that candidate is not going to get the votes. But we need to get organized, and we need to get behind a candidate that actually can, the climate crisis is another good example. The climate is in a very bad situation. We've got this heat, we've got hurricanes, we've got torrential rains, we've got droughts in some places, we got these wildfires. Last year, like, half the time we couldn't breathe the air up here because of the wildfires. It's like this needs serious changes to be made to deliver a reasonable world. And clearly Cornel West has the moral ability to deliver on that. He's been consistent for a long time. He's been around the movements, and he knows that, just being elected president is not enough, that we need to build a movement, that this is part, as he says, a moment in a movement, right? That this is just a moment in this movement that we're building, and that we can build a movement to change the world, and to change the situation for Americans. And, I think a lot of people are getting behind that message these days. They want something, significantly different. And, and neither of the candidates, Trump or Kamala Harris, certainly, Biden before too, we're not going to be delivering this, the change that we need to make America a livable country for the majority of us.
And again, I say this every time a guest comes on my show. They always are better than me than answering this question.
I don't know about that.
Because oh no, I tend to be a little bit more petty in my answer.
Yeah.
Um, because if your candidate is so great, then why don't they debate?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that
I
too.
mean, you
True.
say your candidate is head and shoulders above the rest. One candidate won't even do interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
the other candidate, when he does it, he's so scatterbrained. Yes, I said
Right.
scatterbrained.
Right. Right.
That it's hard to follow. So
Mm-hmm.
if me voting for, part of me always wants to say and, like,
Mm,
I know it's not true, but I'm like, so,
right. Right.
like, and your problem is
Yeah.
maybe if your candidate did better and
Right.
like actually, like, did something or push for something, then
Right.
maybe I might vote for them.
Right.
But to tell me, oh, well, you're just voting for Trump. No. If I wanted to vote for Trump, I would just vote for Trump.
Right.
And I'm so tired of hearing that one. It
I
just
know.
gets,
Yeah.
I'm like, come on,
It's
are y'all serious? You're going to just give it to Trump. No, Kamala Harris is going to give it to Trump,
yeah.
not
Right.
me. It's not my fault that she's going to lose. It's her fault she's
Right.
going, because I'm making a prediction. I'm making a
Mm,
prediction, right, everybody? It's not my fault that I don't support the Democratic Party.
right.
It's the Democratic Party's fault that I don't support the Democratic Party.
And if they really wanted us to not vote for one of these third parties, the best way to actually do that would be to take on significant parts of the platforms of these parties that we are going to be voting for and put it into their platform, take significant action in some way. But they're not going to do that. All they'll do is change one person for another person, keep essentially the same platform, the same positions, the same, saying Israel has a right to defend itself by attacking Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, Iran, Palestine, etc. They're not going
Uh,
to take any significant. They're not going to make any significant changes to their platform. And I remember back in the day when they arrested Nader when he was trying to get into the debates. I remember a bunch of people went down there were trying to get into the debates, and they had so many cops out there. Not only will they not debate, they'll take it to the streets with the police to keep people from getting a chance to debate these candidates.
or when states collect signatures,
Yep.
they're not valid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. The supposed party that's fighting for democracy is trying to kick everybody off the ballot. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I believe you. That sounds totally accurate.
once Kamala, because I'm trying to figure out how many Facebook friends I can lose
Yeah.
by saying I'm not in favor. I'm like, nope, I stand with Cornel West. Thank you.
Yep.
Um, I'm like, it's the same song but a different singer.
Yep. It's
It's
true.
literally the same.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what about her is different than Biden or different than Trump
Yep.
or RFK.
Right. Well, they have this lesser evil thing, and it's like, I think, like over at, um, you know, essentially like Glenn Ford. If you think back in the day with Glenn Ford at Black Agenda Report, he used to call it the more effective evil rather than the lesser evil. That when the Democrats get in there, they're doing a lot of the same evil, but nobody holds them accountable for a lot of the things that they do because everybody's on this honeymoon trip. They kind of shut their brains off. A lot of the people that voted for them, they just shut their brains off and they're like, oh, they're taking care of it now. So they're able to get a lot of this stuff through that, maybe, I mean, there were parts of Trump's agenda he wasn't able to push through because there was a lot of opposition to him from the beginning. So, like I said, the main thing is building a movement. If Trump gets in there and he's trying to do crazy stuff, we need to be making it impossible for him to do that stuff that he wants to do. And the same thing for any agenda that Kamala has. We need to be making it impossible to push this kind of essentially right wing, anti-worker, anti-people agenda that both parties have.
Well, you have to be centered. That's
Mm-hmm.
what people say. You have to America's in the center. No, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the issues that we're for.
Right.
Medicare for all.
Yep.
How many, if anybody knows a Republican that's for Medicare for all,
Mm-hmm.
that person is not Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, because I
Right.
have never, I mean, I know a lot of Republicans, a lot of them. I have never, ever, ever ran into any of them that has said, yeah,
Right.
everybody needs to, they'll say everybody needs health care.
Well, yeah, you get them to describe what they want, and a lot of times they'll describe something pretty close to universal health care, but they don't like the word, Like you ask anybody to describe, well, what should we be doing? Oh, well, these people should get care, and like older people should have this, and there should be this for people to get what they need. And it's like, okay, well, that's exactly, that's what I'm saying, even though you refuse to acknowledge any kind of program or plan that would help people. I mean, the healthcare we have now is not working. I think a lot of people, we could definitely start there, because I find a lot of people, both people that identify as Republicans and Democrats, that are not happy with the way healthcare is right now. I mean, I'm a nurse, so I see people, I've seen people in the healthcare setting, and, they do not get the things that they need a lot of times. And all kinds of people are pretty upset about that. So I don't know how we have to start talking about it, but we got to start, bringing up this healthcare piece. I mean, also rural healthcare is terrible. They're closing down, healthcare facilities in rural areas of the United States. They're closing down hospitals, they've closed down a bunch of hospitals here in the metro area too, and where I live. We tried to fight against that, but basically they were able to kind of ram that through. Yeah, it's terrible. People don't have, there's nowhere near the care that people need. Yeah, it's disgusting.
America.
I know.
That's all. Right? Sometimes you just say America.
I know, it's right. The richest country in the world, and here we are.
And we're bragging about, like our politicians brag about, we're the richest country in the world. Really? Then how come 61% of our population lives paycheck to paycheck? See, I try not to get mad yet. I really do. I really do. I try to keep it.
It's easy to get mad.
I try to keep it, because the diabetes, when you get angry, it just goes through, and I'm trying. But this kind of stuff, really, neither party wants us to win. If I could say anything, and I always say it for the end, but I'm going to do it at the beginning and end. They don't like you.
Right.
They don't like you. They don't care about you. They don't want you to get health care. Now, they want their health care for free. Oh, they get the Cadillac plan.
Oh, yeah.
But you? Oh, no. Oh, no. You can't get it.
Yep.
But their friends can. They can. Their spouses can. But you can't.
Yep.
And you keep voting for the same thing, but you're expecting something totally different. And comes my next one.
This one just again and again, We've been doing this.
We keep doing it, and it's like it's not working. I love how people always say, maybe they always say, now, this one's gonna be on my list.
This one's the biggest one.
Now is not the
most important election of all time.
Oh my gosh. This is the most important election of our life. Shut up. Oh my gosh. Oh,
they've been saying it since I was a kid.
Let me say that you're 40, so I'm older than you by quite a few years.
Yep.
Don't agree with that. Don't agree with that. Well, but I'm older than you by quite a few years.
I don't know.
I became eligible to vote in 1992, but
perfect.
They've been saying this stuff since I was a little 1992. I was 18. Yeah, if you can subtract, you already know how old I am. Now you go from 1992 to 2024. Their message hasn't changed, and people vote for these people, and they just expect something to change.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. No. It's until you change, they're not changing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what another reason I did this podcast, because somebody like Dr. West Run, you don't get somebody like him every day.
Right.
You just don't get somebody that's been consistent.
Right.
Consistent stands on Palestine. Consistent stands on the economy. Consistent stands on women's health, reproductive rights.
Right.
You don't get that. You get this. Oh, let me see where the wind is going. I'll do whatever the wind tells me.
Yeah, right.
Look how many times Kamala has flipped.
Yep.
She was against marijuana legalization. Now she's for it. Then she'll go back against it.
Yeah.
She was saying to fund the police. Now she's saying fund the police. Girl, if you don't, let me shut up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying to keep it under control because it
Yep.
makes me mad. I'm just like, what? Y'all stop voting for these people.
I agree.
Like they're not gonna do anything. Anything.
I
Nothing
mean,
they say
especially
means
like
anything.
as soon as they switch Kamala and everybody's like, "Oh, Kamala, we gotta like support her so hard." It's like you don't even demand. They don't even demand like one thing. They don't even ask for one like scrap of anything for their vote. They're just like, "Take it, take my vote, and do whatever you're gonna do. I don't care."
That's what irritates me. Because if I'm gonna support some, I'm not just voting for Dr. West because I like Dr. West and I agree
Right.
with his policies. No, you, sir, are gonna give me something for my vote.
Right.
And I expect something for my vote.
Right.
I don't expect a bunch of word salad,
Right.
the cackly laugh.
Yeah.
I don't expect any of that. I expect when I vote for you, you give me something. I give you something, you give
Right.
me something, and if you don't, you get replaced.
The
That's the
government's
way
supposed to work for the people, right?
it should work.
That's the idea. I
But
thought.
but vote blue no matter who. Yeah, take my money. Take it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Take it. Don't expect reparations.
Oh no.
Don't no.
Not from Kamala.
Not from anybody.
Well,
RFK clearly came out and said, I'm against it.
none of the mainstream candidates anyway. Yeah, I don't even pay attention to RFK anymore, to be honest. But
Trump, I'm pretty sure he's not for it.
no,
I'm almost certain.
I'd have to say.
Because if he was for it, I'd be like, say what again? Let's do a study. Let me tell you something about reparations. I don't need a study to know my people built this country for free.
Mm-hmm.
I literally don't need you to study anything.
Right. That's
You either cut the.
I love when they do that. It's like any program at the city level or something. They're like, it's like, oh, maybe we need, this, or maybe people need housing or something. They're like, okay, we're gonna do a $3 million study. We're gonna figure out, do people need housing or whatever. It's like you don't need to do a 3 million. You don't need to do a study on that.
And the things that Dr. West says, like eradicating homelessness,
right?
That's very possible.
Absolutely.
Have you heard any? I ain't heard neither one of them sorry behind-it fools, idiots, sit here and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's don't vote for Trump. He's a threat to democracy. Here's my next point before I move on to the next one. How you gonna lose something you ain't never had? Mm-hmm. Please explain this to me, because I'm like, we don't live in a democracy.
Right.
We live in an oligarchy. I don't know who didn't tell y'all this, but I'm here to tell you, if we lived in a democracy, it wouldn't be hard for alternative party candidates to get on the ballot.
Right. And we would actually get some of the policies that like huge amounts of American people support.
We would have proportional representation if we had a democracy.
If they were worried about democracy, they'd get rid of the Electoral College. They'd be working on changing the Senate, the Supreme Court. I mean, all these are undemocratic institutions that work against the one person, one vote.
Thank you. And you would think the Democratic Party being screwed twice, because Al Gore and Hillary Clinton both lost the Electoral College but won a popular vote. You would think, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of it. No. Because they'd rather be out of power so they can get people to throw money at them.
Right.
That's their whole fundraising scheme.
They go start giving speeches for, $200,000 a speech, or they go write a book and make a few $1 million, or they go work at like Lockheed Martin or somebody from the administration go work at, all these, some think tank or hedge fund or whatever, it's just it's like you were saying, but it's like George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. It's like all these rich folks in the government and rich folks running these companies, they're all the same people, and we aren't them and they aren't us.
Yeah, we're different. We're built different. Like, next one, Oh, this one. This one kind of goes with the first one
Sure.
because people tell me this one all the time, and I'm like, you really typed that out?
Yeah.
Like you sat
You
down
actually wrote
on
that.
your computer and said, duh, 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 then did a spell check and thought, this is it. This will
I
get
want to
her.
spend it.
A vote for Cornel West is a wasted vote.
Ooh. Yeah. Again, it's like let's vote for something we actually want. It's like it's funny because they're trying to convince me to vote for somebody I don't support and I don't want to get. And then, but they say that if I vote for something I actually want, that's a wasted vote. It's like it's just the nerve of some people to go about things that way. It's like I I don't remember who said, but it's like I'd rather uh, vote for somebody I want and not get it than vote for something I don't want and get it. It's like I don't want these other people. That's the thing. Like they don't understand that I do not want one of these two corporate parties to rule over me. That again, this is a moment in a movement, so this is an ongoing process. It doesn't stop, just with this one vote. The vote is just one part of the whole, process of uh, 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 building the kind of world that we want to live in. And it's just it's ridiculous that you know they can come at us with these kinds of ridiculous statements, saying that we're wasting our vote. In fact, I'm spending a lot of time uh, working on you know being a good citizen, gathering signatures, trying to get Dr. Cornel West on the ballot, participating in the process. And there's a lot of people that, wouldn't participate in the democratic process if they didn't have anybody to vote for. They wouldn't be involved. So I think, I don't know what happened there, but so I think, I, oh, you're back. Here,
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
don't know what
you
happened,
disappeared. You
everybody.
disappeared.
I hit the mouse because I was trying to go over, and it's just so we're gonna just use my
I
finger to
was
go
like,
over.
this is my show now. I guess I'm
Yeah,
just
you
here.
can
I'm
host
like,
it.
hello. I was like, oh, Tracy disappeared. She left.
Sorry about that. I'm
She's
back,
like, I'm out.
everybody.
She's like, I'm out.
I can't. It's just like my greatest wish is to move to Cuba. Like if I
Oh
can
yeah,
figure out like how can I still be a U.S. citizen
right.
so I can vote and
Yeah.
live in Cuba, I
Hey,
can't
there you go.
figure that out.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, unfortunately.
I'm like, I can move to another country and then from that country move to Cuba. But then if I move to Cuba, I done lost it. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it's a waste
That
of
would be good
vote.
though.
You know what the wasted vote is? The one that's not cast.
Yep, yep.
That's the one that's not. That's
Or if you bully somebody into voting for somebody they don't even support,
you
that's another
gotta.
wasted one.
Here's the one I heard, and it goes along with the wasted vote. It's like, well, tell me why you support Biden at the time because Biden hadn't dropped out yet.
Right.
Well, I can work with them. You really can work with somebody that
Yeah.
commits genocide?
Right.
And don't bring up genocide. Well, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Genocide, but there's no but to it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Well, like there's no but.
They have no red line. They have no,
Like
moral center or anything.
you don't care about the children in Palestine. You might as well just say that you support genocide because you're. And Kamala too. She's got this thing like she's gonna just call for peace. I care about the people of Palestine. Really?
Yeah.
Are you gonna stop giving Israel money?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like you
What,
go,
what,
like you gonna do that? Then maybe I'll listen to you. Probably not. But I'm just saying.
yeah. What was her one statement? She said, "Yeah, I won't ignore the suffering of the Palestinian people," or something like that. She like crammed that in between two things where she said like Israel is great and we 100% support them and they have the right to defend themselves. It's like, oh, but we will not ignore the Palestinian suffering. Like we'll see it and we just won't do anything about it. But I
For
will.
real, I'm just like, oh my
Like
gosh.
they haven't changed anything. Nothing has changed.
Same
Everybody loves it.
song, different
Different singer.
singer.
Exactly, and it's like they don't see that as a red line that they don't want to cross.
Yep. And so we got a lot of comments in here, so I'm gonna get to
Oh,
those.
okay, let's see. Yeah,
Nelson says, "Go Minnesota. Thank you for your hard work and effort." Rude by way MC says, "Minnesota. I think that's Hart, Minnesota."
Nice.
Nelson says, "Yep, there's not enough ads going out, and many people still have no idea. Corporate networks will never cover him, especially with Kamala fever, because if you don't vote for her, well, she might as well just say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I mean, just go full Biden with it."
Yeah, exactly, right?
Let me move to the next one. This mouse is getting on my nerves. This is the one I got to touch on. I got to touch on this because when I saw Nelson, yes, she clearly is doing it. And this is what I can't stand. My peoples is falling for this. Yes, she's black.
Mm.
No doubt. I got eyes. I can see that. Her father, Jamaican. I know that. But where was this? Where was this black thing when she first ran for president? Cause see, it wasn't there. I'm just asking where it came from. Cause I'm real curious about that. I'm like, oh, so now you not? Oh, okay.
Well, that's like the thing too. She couldn't even get close to winning. She couldn't even get close to winning when she was running on her own as Kamala Harris. And then, Biden goes in and they get all these votes collected up, and then they're like, "Oh, this is who you're going to vote for now." And it's so funny because those same people that were saying that, only Biden is the only person that can do it. He's the only person that can go against Trump. Now, then they switch. Sudden, Harris.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to switch it over. Now only Harris is the only person that can. Before forever they're saying Biden is the only person that can. They're like, we have to support Biden. He's the only person that can do it. And I knew from way back they were going to pull a switcheroo. I mean, people have been talking about that stuff for a while. It's like, then I was like, they're going to tell us he's the only person who can win, who can beat Trump. And then in a little bit, they're going to switch it up and they're going to say that, this new person is the only person that can beat Trump. And now that's what they're doing with Kamala Harris, is like, they put her in there and now like, oh, now you have to support her. She's
okay, everybody, I'm going to take a
switch.
I'm going to switch out this mouse.
Yeah.
Keep
good.
talking because this
thing don't keep disappearing.
Yeah, because I keep disappearing. So you continue to talk.
Yeah, so it's like they pulled this whole switcheroo on the American people. Say Biden's the guy. We all have to support Biden. If you don't vote Biden, you're voting for Trump. But then they just switch it and they say, oh, now it's Kamala Harris. Now if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you're voting for Trump. But it's like, again, they would never take on any of the platform pieces of the third-party candidates that they claim are going to, spoil the election. So they would never be willing to do that. You saw there's the Popular Front in France to head off the fascists there. They claim that Trump is a fascist. He's going to bring in authoritarianism. And I don't necessarily disagree that he could do something like that. But the point is, like, they would never join up with the left-wing forces. The Democratic Party would never join up with, like, the Cornel West campaign or other left campaigns like they did in France, because they don't support us at all. They don't want to do anything that we want them to do.
Now, good and well the Democrats, didn't switch her out.
Yep.
More comments. I don't know what this one means, so you're going to have to explain this. One fascist, two fascist, fascist. I think that's what you're saying. But you can... Okay. Eligible in 88. So, oh yeah, that's right, because you're older than me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Quid pro quo bribes, not votes under Zio oligarchy. Exactly.
Yep.
Hey, N.O. Debbie staying off coast, so hoping no flooding, but we'll see volunteering at food pantry today with True Justice and Love t-shirt on. Not a bad day. How are you? Nice. Then the final one is, I'm still unemployed and looking for work, but otherwise not bad. Wishing you all the best with storms, hoping everything's okay and well. But the thing about her portraying being black, she's black. Get it. But how come now?
Right.
Like, how come now? She literally correctly called Joe Biden a segregationist. That's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
You get on his team now, all of a sudden it just disappeared. He stopped being a segregationist.
Yep.
Right, like he started wearing they already did the kente cloth debacle.
Yeah, right.
I'm
yeah. Not to mention Biden saying, he went to see Nelson Mandela in jail, and he
got arrested.
He got arrested going to
he got arrested.
He was marching with the civil rights movement, all this other BS. Mm-mm. And it's funny, he ran for office back in like 88 or something. He ran for president back then. He said all those same lies back then. Plus, he plagiarized speeches, and he said he was never going to say those lies again. There was like video of, them calling him out on that stuff back then. He said he was never going to do that again. Then he came in, told the same lies. These people have been telling literally the same lies. That's how he tried to beat Bernie in certain areas during the early Bernie days.
I mean, if we couldn't see that they was going to pull the switcheroo, I don't know what you not smoking, because I don't smoke nothing. I literally smoke nothing. I don't smoke. But I'm like, you knew they were going to do this, especially after that debate.
Yep.
Like, he should have saw it coming, and apparently he can't run for president, but he can be president. Mm-hmm. Okay, make that make sense.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Make that make sense. Back onto that point about Kamala now all of a sudden wearing, sing and lift every voice and sing.
Right.
Girl, bye. I don't know what else I can say. And I'm like, when I see people falling for it,
yep,
it irritates the pants off of me.
Right.
Because she and Obama both do, and the entire Congressional Black Caucus, they use their race to cater to the black vote. Because without the black vote, the Democrats, they can't win.
Exactly.
If we don't vote for them, y'all ain't winning. It's not going to happen.
Right.
You need us because, one, white people in general vote Republican. In general. Now, I know, of course, Nick is here. He's not voting Republican. But I'm just talking about...
Cornel West.
That's right. But...
there's a lot of them out there.
There's a lot of them.
I mean, there's
and to use that and to use our struggle and our issues and then do nothing. Right. I don't know why this makes me mad, but it just
make you mad.
Irritates me, and people fall for it. Stop! I'm like, stop.
I know. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. I feel like there's young people and new voters and stuff that aren't falling for it, but I feel like some of these people that have been doing this for a long time, somehow they're still falling for it, and they're not even getting anything out of it, or even attempting to get anything out of this process.
No, because they don't want. I've said this for years and years, and I did this on my other podcast. The Democrats don't want to codify Roe v. Wade.
No.
And the Republicans don't want a national ban.
Right.
Because their money stops.
Right.
If they keep you scared, you're going to give them money.
Yep.
I don't know how that you don't see. You see they're not doing anything, and you keep voting for them. At some point, I don't want to say it's your fault, but come on, you see what they doing.
They don't even have positions anymore. They don't even have positions on stuff anymore or a platform. It's all about money. Like I remember when I was talking about somebody about the Cornel West platform, when I was like, well, let me just go to Biden's website and see, like, what does he actually say?
Platform. They got a platform. Big old donate button. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving money for what reason?
It's like a donate, like 5, 10, 15, 20. It's like donate. There's like a thing that like pops up right when you get here, like, oh, donate. And there's all these other little things like that. So I was like, oh, frequently asked questions. Maybe that has something about his platform. But it literally was just a bunch of things about how to donate, like where to donate, how much can you donate. It's just the whole thing was just
They're
about
telling
donating.
you,
It
yeah,
had no politics whatsoever.
you can say whatever you want about Cornel West, and I've heard some things again that make me literally be like, "What are you smoking?"
Right.
But at least he's got a platform.
I know, right?
It's literally he tells you what he wants to do.
Right.
Now I'm not gonna call names until my next question, a couple questions down the road. But he tells you what he wants to do. No big old donate, but donate for what reason?
Yeah, exactly. Right. No, no positions. No, no expectations. Nothing.
And I want to thank Nelson for this one. She's black, but not African American. Thank you. She's Jamaican. Nobody's saying she's not black, but we're saying she's not African. Like I'm African American.
Right.
She's Jamaican American. That's what she is. She's Jamaican American. There's a difference. If people want to vote for a real black person, vote. Come on, Nelson. Come on, Nelson. Vote for Cornel West. And he's got a black female candidate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to say nothing, but I'm here to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother is Indian, and that's how she grew up with a Jamaican father. She didn't have black American experience until Howard University. Her husband is, I'm assuming, that Zionist. Their kids look like him. Well, she's not their mother. She's their stepmother. Next one. Whew.
Yep.
See, this is the thing.
I'm ready.
It just makes me, I'm just like, people, y'all got to stop this. I keep asking, tell me something she's going to do. Not be Trump. No, that's not an answer.
They're like, she might maybe do this if we look at the video from like 10 years ago, but we don't look at all the other stuff. She might do this, or she might, maybe we can push her. Well, she's not Trump.
Oh, that lie that Bernie told. Push him to the left.
Yeah, I know, right?
Really?
Mm.
I don't want to do a boy bye, but boy bye.
It didn't work.
The next one. I usually save this one for last, but I find it so funny that it makes me laugh because when I think of stupid, and when I think dumb, this next one always comes to my mind.
This is the one. Cornel
West is supported by the Republicans and the Russians.
I don't even have an answer to that one because it's just patently false. There's no basis for it whatsoever. This is a guy, like you said, and like I've said, like a lot of people on your podcast, I think have said, he's been very consistent for a long time. He's written this stuff in his books, his CDs, his lectures, there's like, his positions have been the same. He's not the person, flip-flopping, taking bribes and changing their position on stuff like all these corporate candidates that we have, that take tons of oil money, take tons of money from these corporate banks, take money from Wall Street, and then they're always watering down, coming in saying they support Medicare for all or whatever. Then before you know it, that's gone. They say they support the, labor movement, making it easier to organize. No, just kidding. We don't support that. But he's been consistent the whole time. He's not, beholden to somebody's money or pressure or whatever. And it's clear. It's obvious.
Cornel West actually showed up at the UAW protest.
Right.
He didn't stay for 15 minutes. And yes, I called Joe. Right. It was like a couple weeks I kept calling Joe Biden 15 minute. Because basically, I'm like, it took you longer to get on the plane, fly there, walk to the podium, hold a protest sign for 30 seconds, then speak for 15. Oh, and plus $100,000 fundraiser. But I'm supposed to believe he's the most pro-labor president ever. Look, it's a lot of things I believe in. But it's a lot of things that I don't. If that man is pro-labor, I must be an extremist.
Yeah, right.
I got to be like, in this whole Russia thing, will y'all please give that up?
Right.
I mean, it was Jill Stein is Russia.
Yeah.
Russia?
And yet you got the U.S. intervening in all kinds of elections, right? They're doing all
All
kinds of
the
stuff. I mean, just
time.
look at Venezuela just recently, and they're all calling out. The AP finally put out a thing saying, "Oh, the election commission came out. I guess Maduro won or whatever." But it's like they put out like 20 million stories before that, like, "Oh, there's so much fraud. And there's so many questions or whatever." But they literally have
Not the
no
United States. I never would believe that.
yeah, that they would intervene in
No.
somebody's election. Never. Not every Latin American country, just about.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to come up with something better than Russia, Rachel. I don't want to call names. I said I wasn't going to do that. I'm going to try not to do that. But come on. Russia?
Yep.
I mean, y'all still going to that card? Like, wouldn't this campaign have more money than it would have right now? I mean,
right.
what, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we gonna do that. I watch Sabby Sab sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
Make it make sense.
Exactly.
Cause you ain't making no sound like
you gotta have the receipts, right? If you're gonna start making
receipt.
That's no receipts.
I mean, this is what the Democrats have done.
Right.
When the whole Me Too movement was going, I was like, this is such a Democratic. Yeah, I said it. Democratic ploy. Because as soon as Joe Biden got accused of
assault.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, it was Russia. Really?
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to believe all the women that accused Trump, but none of the women that accused Biden.
Right.
It's one of them looks that my mother would give me when I did something wrong. Like,
right.
Really?
Yep.
And just to remind everybody, we still need more states to sign up for the National House Party on August the 31st, 4 to 7 your time. That link, I'm leaving it up there for a little bit because I want you to take it down. This is an all hands on deck situation. I wish we had publicly financed elections.
I know, right?
Don't. So this is what we got to do because, again, the two-party system not going to pass it. Nope. I don't know who said they should wear logos on their suits to say who they take money from, but that was a most brilliant idea. So take that down and be a part of it. It's going to be a great day. All of us, all across America, hoping the National House Party for Dr. West and Dr. Abdullah. Participate. On to the next one. This is where it's about to get ugly. So I'm going to apologize for this one.
All right.
Because last week I went all the way off. Right. And I'm going to
remember, no cussing. That's your own rules.
I know you would think. But boy, I was real close. I'm like, stand up. Oh, I don't cuss. Let me stop. Dr. West can't be trusted to be president because he can't make up his mind. He was first with the Movement for the White People's Party, and that's what I call them. Then he was with the Green Party. Then he went independent, and now he starts the Truth and Justice Party. If he can't do that, how can I trust him to be president?
Right. I go all the way on the opposite side of this one. Like I think all those moves that Cornel West made were very principled moves. Like I think he showed that he can change his perspective on something if he's given the evidence. Like I mean the People's Party obviously had a lot of problems. The Green Party has I've voted for Jill Stein historically before, but it's like the Green Party has not built something in between the elections. This is what people in the movement have consistently been calling on. The Green Party has plenty of its own problems. So I think running as an independent, I think that was a decision that was made with a lot of thought and care put into it. It was not just like him jumping all over the place or something like that. Like he had a very specific reason to do that, and obviously the launching of the Truth and Justice Party is part of the process of, being able to not only to make it easier to get on the ballot in certain states, but also it's part of the process of, building this movement again that we need. of building this thing that can continue to go on after the election and continue to support the community, can continue to build for all these things that we that we want on this platform, ending poverty, ending homelessness, land back, climate justice, racial justice.
Eradicating poverty. You
Exactly.
show me another party that's saying that. There's not the Green Party's not saying it. Yep. I haven't heard Claudia de la Cruz say it. I haven't heard anybody. I've only heard one campaign. Now, if y'all, screenshot me, because I could be wrong.
Right.
I don't think I am.
Right.
Pretty sure I'm not.
Right.
Okay, so apparently people are trying to get on the link and they cannot get on the link. So I say that, Nelson, but this applies to everybody. If for some reason you can't get to the link, any of them, send me an email. There's my email address, and I will send you the link. So that's my email, tracymcarson74@gmail.com. I will send you the link, because the very next question is, hello, Tracy and Nick. If possible, can you give us an update on having Dr. West on the show before November? Thanks. Now, Kevin, I launched a petition 2 weeks ago, and we still got 8 signatures. So if it happens, it happens. That's what we're moving for. That's what we're working on. But again, I started the petition because because y'all kept asking me, and I'm like, look, this isn't why I started the show. I wanted to talk to people like Nick.
Right.
But why they supported Dr. West, yes, they did have Dr. West on there. So I said, okay, I'll do a petition. So if you want to sign the petition, it's there. Where's the petition at? I gotta find it. It's somewhere. Well, it's not there, but I can't find it, but there's a petition.
There, somewhere.
But more comments. Justice for All Party, yes.
Yep.
Thank you, Rubaway. And you're welcome, Nelson. So if you can't for some reason get to any of the links, especially the House Party link, because that's the one that's the big push, is to get everybody on one accord on the same day all across America. Oh, it's on top of the chat. Okay, thank you. I'm like, wait a minute. See, sometimes my supporters got to tell me, because I be forgetting.
Let's see. Yeah, there it is.
So, and it would be don't get me wrong, it would be a great honor to have Dr. West on this show. Period, point blank. I don't know of another podcast that solely dedicates itself to Cornel West being president. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I can say this is the only podcast that's dedicated to any candidate single-handedly.
Yep.
So, I'm just saying, but sign the petition. That's all I'll say. And share it with your friends too.
I just signed the petition. It looks like you're up to 12 now.
Okay, so I'm up to 12.
See, look at that.
Yeah, y'all know what we need. We need, let's see, 300, no, 12. So that means we need 482 to be 500. That's a goal. 500 is the goal, so we need 482. Y'all know what to do.
Nice.
Be at the house party on August the 31st is what you need to be doing. But I think that, when somebody says that criticism, to me, you're exactly right. It shows that he's not messing around, right? If something isn't going to work, it's like, okay, let's try something else.
Right.
Let's do this. So this didn't work, so I'll do this. Exactly. He doesn't stay in something that clearly isn't going to work just to say, oh, I stayed with it. Right. No, he makes the adjustment. And that's what I appreciate about him, because he makes the adjustment, but he's still consistent, right? His views are consistent, but his operation, the way he moves, is like adjustable. And that type of criticism, I'm like, Y'all just be looking for anything. Y'all look for anything.
Right.
Like, come on. And the whole Heartland Crow thing, yeah, I'm gonna say it, because this one is, I don't use this one anymore that he took the money. I still say he should have took it. I still say he should have took it, and I'll tell you why. If you was a white supremacist gonna give poor black Tracy $303,000 to use against you, please. That is TRACY space MCARSON for president. Period. Now that's how I feel. But y'all got all these high standards, and I'm like, you know what?
He's got high standards. That's
He
true.
has high standards, but see, I'm not him.
No,
See,
right.
cause see, this why I don't run for office. Cause see,
Right.
you not gonna see. I'm gonna come after you.
Right.
That's the petty in me.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to be petty, but it is what it is.
It is what
But
it is.
um,
We can't all have, we can't all have the standards at the same level. It's tough. It takes a lot of work.
if I because sometimes I'm like, I wish Dr. West would metaphorically punch some of these people in their face. Just get up there and yank them.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't do that because that's not who he is.
Yep.
See, he needs petty people. That's what you need, Dr. You need somebody petty like me. Like I don't care. Like, oh well.
That's your job, Tracy.
I keep it.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
try.
be metaphorically punching some people for him.
The next one, I'm gonna try not to get angry. I'm really gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. And this one comes from if you watched last week's show, I kind of went off on this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to just breathe, Tracy, breathe. So, a candidate in the Green Party, she says, and other people say, well, Dr. West isn't doing so well in the polling. He should drop out and either A, endorse Kamala Harris, or B, get behind a third party candidate that can actually win.
He definitely should not drop out and endorse Kamala Harris. That would be that would be the worst thing that he could do. And I think that, like I said, the Green Party has failed to build the kind of things we need in between times. Jill Stein's literally run before. This has happened before, and we've seen the outcome there. Like I said, I voted for her before, but it was not a success. And so it's time for again. This is Cornel West, who's been consistent for a long time. He's been involved in the movements, for a long time. I remember back with Occupy Wall Street. Watching him get arrested, being out there at Zuccotti Park and stuff, doing stuff with folks. Supporting the movements. He's been around. He's been doing stuff this whole time. And I think he has a lot of potential to play a serious role in this election and to continue to gain states, get on the ballot in multiple states. And, I think he needs to keep, he's already said he's going to run, he's already assured people he's going to run all the way till the end. And I think that's what he needs to do.
You were so kind and nice.
I know.
And see again,
diplomatic.
I don't have this in me.
That's all right. This is why
I'm like, you know what? Number one, girl, keep his name out your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, you already criticized him, and I said this and I said it before. I think that Dr. West should have participated in the debate, in the third party debates.
Right.
That's not going to make me not vote for him, but I think he should have, been there.
I agree.
But again, that's not going to make me not vote for him. You bring his name up, like, girl, keep his name out your mouth. Like, you didn't bring up Claudia De La Cruz wasn't there, Jasmine Sherman wasn't there, RFK wasn't there. Well, she did bring up RFK's name.
Right.
Why should he have to drop out to support you? Why don't you drop out and support him?
Right.
It's almost to me, and I'm so glad he called it racist. I'm so glad he did, because it's like she was saying, shut up, boy. Sit down, boy. Do what I say, boy. And I know Kyle Kalinske didn't think it was racist, but and I'm not saying she's right. I don't want nobody Green Party saying she said she was racist. But that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that Dr. West called it what it was. And that's another reason I'm voting for him because he calls it like he sees it.
Mm-hmm.
And usually he's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like 99% of the time, he's on the right track. But like I said, do I think he should have been in the debates? Absolutely. Do I think you got to bring up his name every 3.5 seconds like you got some schoolgirl crush?
Yeah.
No. She who gets 1.7% of the vote really
Right.
needs to shut her mouth.
Right.
Make me, because I don't see. I don't, because I hit it low. I don't care.
You want to see Dr. West take the gloves off a little bit. If you didn't, you see that Jimmy Dore interview back in the day. I hate Jimmy Dore, but he really like, he had RFK on. He didn't like question him really at all with any hard questions. And then as soon as he got out there, he started like criticizing Cornel, saying that he like supports Biden and stuff, like secretly supports Biden and all this other BS. Yeah, he kept like going after him on stuff, and eventually he was like, I don't have to take this. You're being like completely confrontational for no reason. It's completely inappropriate. I've been consistent for a long time. It was interesting, but
I
yeah, Jimmy Dore
saw.
pisses me off. I don't even care. I just find him really annoying. I don't know. Some people really love him for some reason, but he just kind of annoys me. I can't even watch his show for like 5 seconds.
I don't. He's a comedian, I guess.
Supposedly.
So
I
supposedly,
there's
I'm
nothing funny
like,
about him, but he's supposedly.
I think Joe Rogan is funny, but not like intentionally.
Right,
Like he
right.
says stuff so stupid you gotta let.
Yeah.
See, don't get me, cause see, I walk down the Candace on him.
Uh,
I can't. It's
no,
like, you know what? If I wanted to be stupid for like I want you, I can't what like 10 seconds. It's like
yeah.
my stomach hurts.
Yeah, turn
Like
that off.
let me turn on something else.
Yep,
Like and
yep.
props to Dr. West who really did put him in his place.
Yeah, he
He
was
doesn't back down. That's the
right,
other thing
exactly.
that I like about he does not back
Right,
down.
right.
We've got a president sitting in office now who would Netanyahu brag, oh, we don't need help. We can do this war by
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. Then privately whines and pouts that the U.S. isn't giving him enough money. And
Yeah,
guess what
right.
happens? He gets more money.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say now if he vetoes the bill, most likely Congress would override it.
Right.
But at least you vetoed it.
Mm-hmm.
You sit here and just I'm like, oh my gosh, why did you have to say Jimmy? See, I was in a good mood.
No, I'm sorry.
I was in a good place. I was in a good, solid place. And
Now
then
I've ruined it for you.
I'm like, oh gosh, now I'm gonna have to go in the restroom,
Uh,
regurgitate my lunch, and be like,
yeah.
like, dude, shut up. You're pro
Yeah.
black. You can't get that's another
These
thing.
people.
You're pro
These
black, so you
people.
can't get elected. Excuse you?
Yeah.
Black people make up 13% of the population of the United States. It's a whole lot of us.
Yep.
So you're gonna tell me what again? Well, you can't win. How do you know?
Right. I
I
mean,
can't.
they're never going to say you can win, because they don't want them to win. They always say everything's impossible until you do it. That's how it always goes. They always say, "Oh, that we could never do that. We could never, talk about that issue. We could never go down that road." But then once you do it, then they always talk. They say it's like inevitable or something. Like, "Oh yeah, well, it's like it's the same thing if." If the Democrats do get pushed on some policy or some policy locally, they do it and then they pretend like they always supported it. Oh, we always were in favor of that or whatever, but you got to drag them kicking and screaming. So we got to get Cornel West in there.
Absolutely. And the Lord knows I try to act like I'm saved, but sometimes I be trying. But the petty in me will be calling some
Yep.
people on election day, be like, excuse you, what did you say? What was that again? What
Mm-hmm.
was that? Oh,
Yep.
okay. Let's do that. But I want to talk about something. I've never brought this up with anybody because we
Okay.
rarely talk about Dr. Abdullah.
Okay. Yeah.
Rarely. And to be honest, I thought I knew who. I did not think that Dr. West was going to pick another African American. I thought, no way.
Mm,
I don't know why I thought this.
sure.
Because I thought, I'm usually thinking, oh, well, you got to balance it out. You got
Right,
this
right,
versus
right,
that, and
right,
you got to balance it out because I'm playing that game.
right, right, right.
But it's like 2001, he basically got the female version of himself.
Mm,
And two, I was highly concerned with the Black Lives Matter
sure.
until I heard her speak. What
Mm.
are your general thoughts about Dr. Abdullah in general?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think. I mean, you were just talking about how Dr. West doesn't back down. I mean, I think that's the same thing, right? That Dr. Abdullah does not back down. Very strong voice. I was not as familiar as I was with Dr. West, but yeah, from everything that I've seen, she speaks her mind. She does not back down. I think, yeah, I wasn't sure who was going to pick either, and yeah, the media kind of gets you in that mindset of like, the horse race or whatever, oh, well, got to pick this person, you got to balance this out. And I mean, it's like with this Kamala pick now, we got to hear about it all the time, oh, which governor, she's got to pick a governor, but oh, she's going to pick, well, my governor is one of the ones that they're talking about all the time. I got to hear about it all the time. He's the guy who sold out the nurses here. We were trying to spent a bunch of time trying to get a staffing bill to staff our hospitals properly here through the legislature. And then the Mayo Clinic stepped in at the last minute and said that they if they'd leave the state, if they made them like staff their hospitals properly or whatever. So the governor stepped in and said he would veto whatever
And
staffing
they
bill they
make
came up
that
with.
guy like he's walking on water.
Yeah, yeah. Now they want to put him in there, and I mean, uh, yeah, it's crazy. And then then there's Shapiro or whatever. They got their different governors that they're looking at, but yeah, I mean, I think it was a great addition. Like I also didn't see it, necessarily see it coming. But it's the same thing. I was sitting around, I volunteer at Mayday Books here at Left Wing Bookstore, and I remember we were sitting around before thinking, who's going to come into this election, and counteract. I mean, at the time, of course, it was Biden and Trump, and I mean, two of the most unpopular people, ever among large portions of the population. Obviously, they have their fan clubs too, but there's a significant portion of Americans that did not care for either of them. Did not want to see them run against each other again. And we're like, who's going to get into this race? And so it was great to see Dr. West come in. And then I didn't really know who he was going to pick for a VP. And I think Dr. Abdullah is a really good option, really good pick. And like I said, everything I've seen so far, very strong advocate for basically the same issues as Dr. West is advocating on, and doesn't back down in the face of what's going to be massive amounts of pressure and massive amounts of pressure and money and violence potentially that's going to be brought against folks if they're starting to have success.
And like I said, I was clearly, I was like, he picked two because I had exactly the candidate. I'm like, no, pick this person.
So who did you think he was going to pick?
I thought it was going to be Claudia or Nina Turner. I thought it's
Oh,
got to be
okay.
one of those two.
Yeah. Sure.
But then I threw out Nina Turner because I'm like, oh, is she black and she Democrat? So no, let me throw her out.
Right.
And well, Claudia is black, but she's black Latina. So I thought, okay, well that'll do.
Right.
This pick, I was like, no clue. But as I'm learning more about, I'm just like, again, glad Dr. West didn't listen to me.
Yeah, they seem to work well together too.
Seem to work together. Like I said, he literally picked female him.
Yeah, right.
Like, is this the female version of you? Because okay, I see some tendencies.
Right.
I wanted to talk about one more thing before I get to, because I said I'm going to start talking about what you're doing at the state, what states are doing at the state level. But before I get to that, I got a question. So we know that Kamala was not one of the most popular vice presidents.
Right.
How did that change overnight to now she's popular? Like, what the heck happened? Like, I'm like, huh? What did I feel like I missed something. Because I'm like, how do we go from her word salad to now she's giving speeches. I'm like, wait a minute,
Mm,
what the heck changed?
yeah.
I feel like something's changed, and I can't put my finger on it.
Well, I mean, they had that whole theater with Biden, like he's not going to leave. He's not going to back down no matter what. What did he say? He said, unless the Lord Almighty comes down and tells me to drop out, I'm not going to drop out. I think
Obama.
people,
Oh, let me shut up.
I think people were just so exactly. Yeah, I think people were just so desperate for Biden to drop out that I think it has more. Originally has more to do with the fact that like finally Biden is out of the way, and now people feel this sense of relief. But again, it's mistaken. People we've been through this kind of stuff before, but yeah, I think it's just this feeling of like finally Biden, is not there anymore. I mean, that clearly at the debate there was a lot of people that were like shocked. I mean, a lot of us had seen how he'd been, the performance piece had been seeing how he'd been performing for a long time. That he was not super functional in a lot of ways, but I guess I don't know. Other people saw it and they were ready for him to go. But I don't know why she wasn't popular as a presidential candidate either when she ran for.
Lost California.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so it's
did
like,
we forget this?
yeah.
Like, did
So I don't know.
wait a minute. I feel like I'm missing something. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
she lost. She didn't even make it to Iowa.
Right. No.
Like,
Yeah.
literally didn't make it to Iowa. Well, okay. I mean, yeah, she's not 77, or is Trump 78?
That's why they did that this way, because they gotta force us into this, force people into this area where they keep saying, oh, you got to vote blue no matter who, and then once they get us close enough to the election, they could put anyone in there, and now it's like blue. Everybody's already committed to this blue no matter who thing, and so now they just have to, they have to like convince themselves that they really think that Kamala's great and she's the new person who's going to save democracy or whatever.
I'm like, this is the same lady that arrested black parents when their children
Right.
didn't go to school. Like, I feel like I'm just missing. I'm like, y'all was just like,
Yep.
I feel like I'm missing something. I literally feel like I'm missing something. If y'all tired of these trifling, yes, I said trifling candidates, and you want to vote for somebody that's really going to do something, go to CornelWest2024.com.
Yep.
Let's stop playing. Let's show these people we are not
I
playing.
agree.
We need volunteers.
Yep.
Volunteers, definitely donations,
Yep.
because campaigns are not free.
Nope.
I know, I wish they would be free, but they not. That's not the type of system we live in.
Nope.
But visit CornelWest2024.com. And finally, and I'm just now getting to my last one, and I can never remember what it is. Oh, this is one.
Okay.
It's not stupid. It makes me mad.
Oh, okay.
Like the other one
I'm just
made
gonna
me
get mad. All right, I'll just get mad instead.
Dr. West is not a serious candidate.
I think it's pretty clear that he is a serious candidate. I mean, again, he's been doing consistently the same thing for decades. He's been participating in the movements. He's got a vice presidential candidate. We're working to get on the ballot in every possible state that we can. This is a serious campaign with serious people working on the campaign, and I don't know how much more serious it could be. It's not a campaign that's going to be getting a bunch of big donations from Wall Street. I mean, we know that this is a people-powered campaign, but it is a very serious campaign nonetheless. I mean, that's my take.
Define serious. What do you mean when you say he's not serious? If you're not serious, why file with the FEC?
Right.
Like, if he wasn't serious, he'd run as a Democrat. Oh, I said what I said.
And if he's so unserious, why are they so afraid of him? Why are they telling us all this stuff about how, we're going to like spoil everything. Everything's going to be ruined. If he's not serious, then there's no problems. So just shut up. If you take two things they say, just be like, okay, shut up.
You know what? You need to say that one more time, because what you scared for? If your candidate is really the best candidate, it won't matter.
Exactly.
Because you would win, but no.
Yeah. But
Let's
they know they don't have the best candidate, so they gotta guilt everybody else into voting for people they don't want to vote for.
I'm just waiting for Kamala to say, if you ain't black, if you
Yep.
vote Republican, then you ain't black. I'm just waiting on it.
I mean, if Biden can say it and get away
And
with it,
get away with it. I'm like, y'all let
that's
that
crazy.
slide?
I know, I couldn't believe that
Well,
either.
he got familiar. Okay, I'm gonna say this final point.
Yep.
I'm gonna get on to, it's not really a question, it's just a final point that I got. If Trump had said exactly the same sentence, y'all be, and yeah, I'm talking about the other side, because they watch this show. They won't comment, they won't like, but they watch, because I know y'all watch it. Because y'all telling me I'm wasting my time doing this show. That's okay, because my time, I'll waste it if I want to, but I'm not wasting it. But anyway, they tell us that, and I just lost my train of thought right there. It was right there. What was I talking? What was I talking about?
Tell you that you're wasting your time.
Yes, I'm wasting my time, and I'm da 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 da. Again, if your candidate was so great,
right,
and so wonderful, and so smart, and so intelligent, and so you wouldn't have to tell me if I ain't black if I don't vote for
right,
you. I would just vote for you.
right,
You don't get to say that I'm black. I get to say that I'm black.
right.
You don't have that right. And the fact that people let that, he got familiar. Let Trump have said that same thing.
Right.
I don't believe this, and I know that. How could he's racist? And Joe Biden isn't?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, the man said, I don't want my children to go to school with black children because we live in cages.
Mm.
Make me prove that I'm wrong, because you can't. You cannot prove that what I'm saying isn't right. And the other thing I'll say, as if Trump does win, people say, how can you see anything positive? That's going to get you in the streets more, because apparently when they do it, it's evil, right?
Mm.
It's terrible that children were in cages.
Right.
You protested then, but you won't protest now, and children are still in cages. And yes, I'm going to say again, I say it every week, children are still in cages.
Right.
I don't know why people don't want to just
right.
get that fact in their head. Hey,
right.
prove it. I don't have to. It's right there. Biden has, and by default Kamala, because she's the vice, have continued Trump's border policies. But it was wrong when Trump did it, but it's A-okay when Biden does.
Biden even wanted to work with Trump on it. He even said, I'll work with you, or you work with me, or I'll work with you on the
yeah, help me. Like, dude, what?
Yeah.
Like, I when I was thinking about running for office, and then I said, no, because I got mouth issues.
Yeah.
I got temper issues. I'm like, I never would have said that. There's no way I'm saying this. If I think your policy is wrong, why am I asking for you?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Why am I asking for your help? But that's and they like I said, they excuse it when Biden is doing it. Genocide is okay.
Right.
Killing people in the Congo, hey, kill more.
Hey. Yep.
Why did you kill enough people?
Well, they they say that if Trump gets in, he's going to destroy democracy. But then when he got his little ear boo boo, then they're like, oh, it's just differences of opinion. Everybody has differences of opinion. We have to treat each other with respect, and we need to, respect Trump, and we wish him the best, and we hope it's like, if he's like gonna destroy our democracy, I don't wish him the best. Sorry, I don't know. If you actually believe that, then I don't wish him the best. Like, that is not the kind of thing that you say to somebody. It's the same thing like reaching across on the border issue. Like, oh, I want him to work with me. It's like, no, I don't want him to work with me.
No, bipartisanship.
Exactly.
If I hear that word, oh my goodness, I can't stay. I'm like, shut up. Yep. Shut up. There's no bipartisanship. There's just partisanship.
Right.
You're literally two sides of one coin.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a dime, whether it's heads or tails.
Yep.
It's the same thing. But I do want you to talk about what Minnesota is doing.
Yeah, so we've been going down the signatures route. We have till August 20th to get our signatures together. We have over the number we need. We only needed 2,000 signatures in. I mean, I say only because a lot of places need a lot more than that. 2,000 signatures, and we had like 89 days or something to get those. So we have over that number. So we do have the number we need, but we're definitely trying to get. We'd like to get double. I don't think we're going to quite hit double the number of signatures that we need, but it'd be nice if we could get up in the at least 3,000 something range. So we're still on track to work towards that, and then go ahead and put Dr. West on the ballot. I really hope that that's going to be a process that actually is functional and takes place here in Minnesota. But again, if we look at all the states across the country and how that's been going, the most likely outcome is that the Democrats are going to do everything in their power to try to keep Cornel West off the ballot, because supposedly they love democracy so much or whatever. So they're going to have their lawyers and their people poring over the signatures and trying to throw people's signatures out and all this other stuff like they've done other places. But yeah, we've had a lot of volunteers out. We've had some real rock stars that have been like hitting up all the big events this summer and getting a lot of signatures. And people. I mean, I've gotten quite a few signatures, but there's people that have been really blowing me out of the water and are really able to get out there and hit up a lot of events and both personal and big public events and get a lot of signatures. It's really impressive what's been going on in Minnesota.
2,000 signatures. I
know,
live in
right?
the wrong state.
I
I
know,
live in
right?
the wrong state. I live in
Yeah.
the wrong.
It's crazy what you told me. How many signatures did y'all need?
37,963.
That's insane. That's insane. Yep.
So Nelson has a point on comment. What people don't understand is that Cornel West does not need to run for president. Exactly. He is doing it because the other candidates are not serious enough to make a difference in the people's lives. Yes.
100.
100%.
Right on.
And that's essentially why I do this show. I know I don't get a lot of views, and I'm not the most articulate, blah, 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 blah. But what I am is somebody that when I support somebody, I'm with them. And
Right.
when Dr. West announced that he was running, it took me all of 3 seconds to say, I'm doing a
Yeah.
podcast.
Right.
It literally
Right.
was like the next words out of my mouth was, do a podcast, because I know
Yep.
that the principles that he stands on. Now he's not God. He ain't. He's not that, because
Yep.
he'll tell you in a minute he's got frailties and faults just like everybody else. But again, what he is consistent,
Right.
and that I appreciate more than anything. And I invite everybody that for some reason you may be undecided. I don't know how you can be at this point.
You'd be
But
surprised.
go to CornelWest2024.com and actually read an actual platform.
Yep.
An actual platform of an action plan to help and not to harm. And that's, his campaign is about truth, justice, and love. Who else is running on that?
Right.
I don't see it. And this is the most people we've ever had watch live. I just want to say that. Thank y'all. I
Nice.
really appreciate that, because it's been a little low, so I want to thank y'all. But again, we're going to hit these announcements because
Yep.
I said, hey, I'm going to put them all out there. Again, CornelWest2024.com. CornelWest2024.com. You can volunteer, you can donate, you can read the platform. Definitely go there. The National House Party, if I have brought it up 10,000 times, I'm going to keep bringing it up. It's August the 31st. It is 4 to 7 p.m. Whether you're in Eastern Standard Time, Central Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time, that other one that I forget about.
Mountain Time.
Long time. Thank you very much. Because I was like, it's that other one.
There's another one. Yep.
We want all 50 states. All 50 states. We're missing a whole lot. We just launched yesterday, but all 50 states on the same day to do this one action. I'm gonna put this up because now we up to what you said 12.
The last time I looked, I can look again here. Let's see.
Yeah, keep on saying when Dr. West is gonna be on the show. When Dr. West is gonna be on the show.
Yeah. 13 now.
13. Y'all know he's not gonna come on this show with no 13 signatures. Now come on. Could we be for real? Let's keep it because I like to keep it real. I keep it real.
There, everybody this wait, so how many people are watching right now?
I don't want to tell the number, but more than I've ever had watched.
Okay, more than 10, right?
Yeah, more than 10. Well, okay. More than 10.
All these people need to get over there, and they can sign the petition, and then, we'll have a good bunch more than 13, right? So everybody go over there, sign up, and get Cornel and Melina Abdallah on the show here.
Yep, and either one would be great. Because, like I said, I'm going to start, I've made in my mind decision, I'm going to start talking about Dr. Abdullah more, even though I know Dr. West's name is in the title, because I couldn't fit no more letters. So, that's pretty much all I can do there. I'm like, I want to change the name.
I always have on my podcast, too, is I'm always trying to, make titles in there, too long, and I'm like, I gotta cut something here, I gotta cut, what am I, Yeah. It's tough.
Remember to like this podcast. Liking this podcast gets us in the algorithm. So when people type in Cornel West and we get enough likes, it'll bring up this podcast. Or if you just simply type in congratulations Cornel West, it'll bring it up. But liking this, put a comment even after this show. Put a comment because apparently a lot of y'all watch this after I go live. Like, why wouldn't you want to be live? You're not going to turn to stone. Yeah. I promise you will not turn to stone. But comments put us up there. Share. Now this is something everybody can share this podcast. Share it on your Facebook, your Twitter. I think you can put it on TikTok and Snapchat. I think, but I know you can put it on Facebook and Twitter. Now them two I know.
Yep.
So share those. We got one more comment here. We got a Trump 2024 commenter. See, now, Vextor, I'm not bringing up your comment because, see, bye.
Vexor.
Bye. Because, see, we used to have a troll that would come in and tell me, oh, seriously, he would come on every week with this. Keep on voting for stuff that's not going to change. Mm-hmm. Just keep doing it and see what you get out of it. So you can Trump 2024 all you want to. I'm going to go with a candidate that actually has a plan.
I know, right?
And doesn't hurl racial insults at people that come south of the border when good and well we know we messed up their country and that's why they're coming. See, I'm not going to do that. But if you want to vote for Trump and not get anything and be okay with it, do you, boo? When I said do you, boo. Wow. And thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin, for signing everything. Everybody, I want to thank everybody. This is the highest number of people I've ever had watch live at one time. I want to thank everybody. Everybody. I've been asking for guests. I'm hopefully going to have a guest next week. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed, but I'll be here next week. Remind you of all the things. But remember, like, share, comment, share. Let's get this done. And finally, remember to go west. And I got one commercial to play, and then we're going to head out because we've had a great one. And we'll show this.
We need all the tired, poor, huddled masses of America who have had enough of the two-headed snake that has been our parties and our current and former president. Please sign up at CornelWest2024.com volunteer or scan the QR code to join the movement for a new choice. Join us on Mondays at 7:15 p.m. EST by scanning the QR code. Paid for by Hoosiers for Dr. Cornel West for President.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we even got a new one, Jenny. Jenny, I don't want to mess up your last name because I know I'm going to. You're welcome. And Cornel West in the White House. And remember, I said it before and I'll always say it again. Remember to go west. Have a great week. I'll see you all Tuesday for my podcast, which I never advertise my own podcast, but I'll be live Tuesday. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great evening, and we'll see you if you see. And remember to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, Nelson. Hit the thumbs up button, please.
Everybody do it. See ya.
Thank you.